Today, we're digging into a really powerful new blueprint for global partnership. It's a vision for how we can all work together, not just to, put out fires, but to actually build a healthier, more peaceful world for everyone. Look, for decades, the global model has been all about aid, investment, and development. But with the challenges we're facing now, you gotta wonder, are we just putting band-aids on an old, broken system? Or could we build something totally new? Could our partnerships actually become tools for healing the planet? This right here, this quote from a recent Canada-Africa Business Summit just nails it. It's this clear, powerful demand to move away from those old, extractive ways of doing things and shift to a partnership that's actually built on shared values and mutual respect. This isn't just some small adjustment, this is a call for a complete overhaul. So what does this new model even look like? Well, the whole vision is built around this idea called the Fifth Industrial Revolution. Think of it as a huge leap beyond the fourth, which was all about automation and data. This new era is about humans and technology actually working together for the good of the planet. And this definition is so important because it changes the goal completely. We're not just talking about making things faster or more efficient. The whole point of the Fifth Industrial Revolution is to use our best technology, like AI, to solve our biggest, deepest problems, healing our ecosystems, building real peace, and just making life better for all of us. I mean, the difference is night and day, right? The Fourth Industrial Revolution was all about optimizing the systems we already had, making them faster. The fifth is about building brand new systems from the ground up with a totally different purpose. The driver isn't just technology anymore, it's technology that serves people and the planet. Okay, so that's the big idea. But how do we actually build it? Well, the first pillar is what you could call the hardware. The real physical stuff, the infrastructure that gives communities a solid foundation to truly thrive. We're talking about building for what's called regenerative peace. And this completely changes what we think of as security. Foundational security isn't about fences and weapons, no. It's about making sure every single community has the basic building blocks for a good life. When people have plenty of healthy food, clean water, and green energy, you're not just surviving, you're creating the conditions for real, lasting peace. And hey, this isn't some far-off dream. The tech is here. Take the solar roof city pod concept. It's a kind of self-contained ecosystem that can generate 24,000 kilowatt hours of clean energy per person every year. To give you some perspective, that's nearly double what the average American uses. That is an absolute game changer. But the city pod is so much more than just an energy generator. It's the whole shebang. Its closed environment produces tons of food and clean water. It has a biodigester that turns all the waste back into more energy and nutrients. Nothing is wasted. That means it has a zero carbon footprint. And maybe best of all, you can scale it from a single family all the way up to a whole city. It's literally a life support system. So, if the city pod is our amazing new hardware, we're going to need an ethical operating system to run it, right? Something to make sure it's being used for the good of the community. And that brings us to the second pillar, making sure the AI that guides all this is totally aligned with our deepest human values. There's this incredible project called Wenlto that's tackling this exact problem, and it starts by asking a revolutionary question. We train AI on all this data we scrape from the internet, but what if we trained it on something deeper? What if we trained it on generations and generations of human wisdom? So here's the game plan. Instead of just grabbing data, the project gathers stories and wisdom from communities that are so often ignored. We're talking indigenous elders, grassroots activists, even hip-hop culture. Then they bake that wisdom right into the AI's core programming. It gets deployed in local hubs to solve real problems, and they are constantly checking to make sure it's actually serving the community's best interests. And these are the core values that drive the whole thing. This isn't just code. It's an AI being built from the ground up to understand what things like dignity, peace, and healing really mean. This is how you make sure technology works for us and not the other way around. All right, so we've got the hardware and we've got the ethical software. Now for the big question. How do we actually make this happen? Well, the action plan is all about creating a global network of living laboratories through what they call twinning partnerships. And a perfect example of this is happening right here in Canada. In Markham, the Spark Markham Center of Excellence in Regenerative Development, or CORD for short, is being built as one of these living labs to test out all these ideas, from smart food systems to ethical AI. Now, this twinning idea is the secret sauce. It is absolutely not about one-way aid. The Markham Hub, for instance, brings the tech and market access. But its partner hubs in the global south, like one being developed in Nigeria, they bring something just as valuable. Their local expertise, indigenous wisdom, and a place to see what really works on the ground. It's a genuine two-way street. And this is no small experiment. We're talking about a proposed 10-year budget of $117 million for the Spark Markham Hub alone. But what's really cool is that it's designed to eventually become self-sustaining, generating its own money from things like training programs and selling clean energy and food. From its home based here in Canada, on what many Indigenous peoples call Turtle Island, this network is going global. Twinning partnerships are popping up in Kenya, Cameroon, and the DRC. A huge part of this is creating youth peace gardens and forests, giving young people hands-on training. The vision is to build this incredible web of shared knowledge all across the Commonwealth and La Francophonie. So when you put it all together, the grand vision, the hardware, the ethical operating system, and the action plan, what you really get is a completely new story for how we can move forward together in the 21st century. And that's the bottom line. This whole thing is a move away from that old top-down model of aid and into a new era of co-creation. It's a partnership where our tech is guided by wisdom, our buildings actually help heal nature, and the whole point is to build a future that truly brings everyone forward. You know, the inventor Buckminster Fuller said it perfectly. You don't change things by fighting what already exists. If you really want to change something, you build a new model that's so much better, it just makes the old one obsolete. And that's exactly what this is all about. Which leaves us with one last really big question to think about. It's an idea so powerful, it's actually behind a petition that's gaining steam in Canada. What if we just shifted our priorities? What if we decided that building the foundations of peace, food, water, and energy for everyone, was just as important as our traditional defense spending? Just imagine what kind of world we could create then.